Okay. So today we're doing a reaction to this video
Let's
here.
think about the two biggest
Let's just stop right there for a second. So we're doing a reaction to this video because I'm bored. I gotta make content for you guys. By the way, if you hear a fan in the background, do you want to deal with 90-degree weather in Washington? No, you don't? So you don't live in Washington. I do. I need fans. And I'm not talking to you guys, although you people are beautiful. You know, you're so pretty. You're so awesome. You guys, you know, you should do yourself a favor. You should do yourself a big favor. Press the like button. Make sure, you know, subscribe to the channel and all that stuff. Because you know what? You deserve to be treated right. And don't worry, baby. I'll treat you real good. Okay, cringe ass plug early on aside. Let's get into this video because yeah, again, I don't get how people make these kind of videos and don't see the problem with the type of content they're making. Like, this stuff to me is as cringe as someone saying the game is the worst state of all time. The Last of Us Part 2, for example, is like the worst game of all time. The worst state ever. The 0 out of 10. It's like, really? There's nothing good about it? Or they say the same thing about Baldur's Gate 3 or freaking the next Mario game, the next Zelda game, the next Halo, so on and so forth. It's just those kind of channels I don't like. I hate them, in fact, because they basically discredit the whole freaking gaming media by just saying, well, it all sucks. It's like, yeah, why do you think I don't like you? So let's just get into this because I'm kind of wrapping my head around this, and my computer probably has only so much time before it decides to overheat. So let's hope we could beat the timer.
space games we have in our lives. No Man's Sky and Star Citizen, right? And what do both of these
Would Halo count as a space game? Because it is in space. Just saying.
games have in common besides being in space? They were both dog shit for the first 5 years of their release.
No Man's Sky was okay. But yeah, it was pretty bad. Star Citizen, I've never played. I don't know what people talk about when it comes to that game.
And now they're trying to sell me Skyrim in space. Literally, that's what the founder called it himself. Maybe
Wait, let's check that
they're
quote
trying
again.
to sell me Skyrim in space. Literally, that's
Speaking to the Washington Post, Todd Howard says Starfield is like Skyrim in space and like Skyrim and Bethesda Fallout games. But Starfield will be playable from both first-person and third-person perspective. It's kind of like Skyrim in the terms of the structure of the game, where you're going to be who you want to be, and then there's different factions you could join and really carve your own path. So this is a good thing. A game where I could go around exploring in space, you know, craft these awesome spaceships and craft my own little base, my own little, you know, my own little section, all that. How's this bad? And listen, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not the biggest fan of what I saw from Starfield. I like the combat looked okay, but it's like I'm not gonna deny the fact that a lot of the stuff also looks really cool. You know, TPG does have the G in his name. He might actually have to play a damn fucking Xbox every once in a while, or at least on PC.
what the founder called it himself. Made by Bethesda, by the way, who hasn't been able to release a successful product in over 10 years. So
But Bethesda didn't make Fallout 76. That was more of a Take-Two, not Take-Two, sorry. That was more of a ZeniMax thing. But yeah, Bethesda did have something to do with it. But yeah, it's still successful. Fallout 76 actually has been kind of on this weird comeback the last couple of years. You know, people are actually like, oh, now it's not so bad. And we're not gonna talk about Fallout 4, one of the best-selling RPGs of the last generation. You know, you can sit there and argue about quality all you want, and, you know, people will. I'm one of them. But at the same time, it's like you can't deny the fact that Fallout 4 was a success. And there are a lot of people out there who do like Fallout 4. Just saying. You know, if you're trying to sit there and say Starfield is going to be bad just because Fallout 76 exists, well then Rockstar's next game's going to suck because they had Bully. Or because they had table tennis. It's an actual thing. Look it up. You know, it's like, you can always look at a developer and find like that lesser game in their portfolio, and does that immediately discredit them all? Oh no, Naughty Dog sucks now because Uncharted 1. Oh no, Insomniac sucks because Resistance 3. See, you could do this with any studio out there. No studio bats 100, but some get closer.
If you're blindly hyped for this game, you've been bamboozled, tricked, skanked. But guess what? You came to this video. You're in a safe place now. I will save you. By showing you how Skyrim in space, also known as Starfield,
Okay, also a little fun thing for you guys to know. Lately I actually have been playing Skyrim. Because I got it with PlayStation Plus Extra. I ain't gonna lie, man. Low key, I like Skyrim. Now, I'm not saying Skyrim's like amazing or anything, but if you want a game to just kind of relax to, just kind of kill time with, Skyrim's it. And I think that's kind of what people like about Bethesda's games the most, is that they do have that casual nature to them. You don't have to, play this like you're playing like Baldur's Gate 3, where you have to go like super in-depth and work like really hard and to do the grind. Like, no. Okay, some bandits stole a fucking golden claw. I'll just go up there, kill the bandits, and come down and collect my gold. That's what Skyrim is. I'm not saying Skyrim's amazing. I'm not saying it's a 10 out of 10 like Angry Joe. And I'm not saying it's a 0 out of 10 like this guy or Harmon Smith would say. I think it's somewhere in the middle. I like to think Skyrim's like a 7. Maybe a low or high 6. I don't know. It's all depending on you.
Is completely doomed. Let's get into it. Now, before I even get into the various reasons why Starfield is more doomed than your local GameStop, let me first lay out the
Oh my god! That was hilarious! You told a funny!
primary reason that I'm worried. It seems the developers don't really know what the fans are looking for in this new IP. For example, just a small feature, Todd Howard confirmed that there will be no seamless ground-to-space flight. That basically means if you're on the planet's surface and you fly up into the air, there will be a loading cutscene before you're able to get to space, making the transition a lot less smooth. Okay, right? I mean, that's not the end of the world. It's not that catastrophic. That's one feature. It's Todd Howard's explanation for why it's not in the game that scares me. He said this feature is not important enough to the player to justify it being engineered into the game.
Todd Howard has said that Starfield won't allow you to fly seamlessly from space to its 1,000 explorable planets, saying it's a feature that just is not really that important to players and justify the engineering work involved. He's right. I mean, if you have to do this, thing for over 1,000 times, I'm just saying, man, guess what? Load screens are not that death sentence. It's perfectly fine. Is there any collectibles in that, space between, Earth and the fucking space? No? Then why do I care about it?
Game. He's basically saying that the development time for it isn't fucking worth it. And I don't believe that statement is true at all. I think it's pretty important for an open world exploration game with over 1,000 planets to have this seamless ground to space feature. But clearly he doesn't see it that way. And that makes me
Yeah, because just talk about working your time efficiently. What? Dude, it's over 1,000 planets. Do you know how much work would have to go into making it all seamless? And how much stress that puts onto the console? And the PCs and the fucking cloud, servers and all that shit. This ain't No Man's Sky. This is actually a big game. It's a big budget game with story and characters and all that good stuff. Guess what? That stuff is the small little minutia stuff like seamless space to ground combat or transition. Don't mean shit. Just make it a quick little load time. There you go. Problem solved.
question, what else doesn't he see that way? What else does Starfield think isn't important when it really is? I want you to think about that as we go on through this video. Now, we all remember when No Man's Sky first came out, and it was a complete fucking lie. I still think it's funny to this day how they literally said, yeah, the game's gonna have multiplayer, and it just didn't. I mean, like, how do you get away with shit?
It did have multiplayer, eventually. I've always been in the camp that Sean Murray, or whatever the fuck the guy's name was, he promised a lot of stuff that, yes, at one point was planned for the game, but it wasn't planned for launch. I think he should have specified that. He said basically yes to everything. Oh, is there's multiplayer in this? Yes. But there wasn't. It's kind of the problem. Is when you're caught in the moment, it's like, oh, wait, is this actually something that's going to be in it, or something we can put in later? And by the way, I've said this. I will say this. I think No Man's Sky is a fine game for the most part, but it's also a game that took a while to get there.
Like that. But anyway, No Man's Sky advertised millions of planets to explore, endless possibilities on all of them. And on paper, that sounded really cool. The galaxy was fucking infinite. I mean, that's dope. But that fun lasted for about 29 seconds. People quickly realized that the planets, despite being named different things, were all just reshades of the same shit. Somehow, this game being so full of planets made it so empty. And that was a big problem people had with that game. So Starfield, it has 1,000 planets. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot better than 1,000,000, but that's still just too many to justify having. I just don't get why they won't focus on 120 planets. Really craft those planets, add specialties to
For a very specific reason. Some planets might be more story focused, some might be more quest focused, some might be more resource planets. And yeah, that's just how it is. Not every planet, yeah, I agree that not every planet, you know, gets the magic touch, but at the same time, it's like, still better than nothing, right? It's better than having one map and having a bunch of bland fucking story quests. Skyrim! Sorry, I had to make that rant for a bit.
all of them. That would make the game feel perfectly huge while also being purposeful. Listen, when most people buy this game, you are not going to explore more than 45 planets. The average player. Nevertheless, 200, 300. So why not make it 100 planets that when someone goes there, it's special and not some procedurally generated shit? Not only that, but the planet exploration is weak, man. No rovers. No rovers? In fact, no vehicles at all. There's no ground transportation at all in this game. You are going to be walking everywhere on foot. I guess.
Wasn't there like later confirmed there'd be like a jetpack or something? And by the way, did you ever think they might be holding stuff back to later have be like a big surprise for players? Just saying. In gameplay trailers, they don't always show everything because sometimes they want something to be a surprise for the players.
The rumors are true, Bethesda doesn't know how to code fucking vehicles. Never in any of their games have they made you drive a car. So no ground transportation. There are rumors that on each specific planet, there are boundaries as to what you can explore. So it's not just an infinite planet surface that you can walk around on forever. There are limits to the directions that you can go. You add the fact to that there's no seamless ground to space transitions, the exploration is already going to be super fucking choppy. One of the main parts of the game is exploration. That's the main reason you're fucking buying this game. Yet
Is it really though? Maybe you're buying the game for the story. Maybe you're buying it for, you know, be able to build your own spaceship. Dude, yeah, again, I get where you're coming from. In fact, I kind of agree that it is kind of, you know, it's weird how if the rumor is true that the planets are limited in a certain way. Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I don't think this makes a game doomed. A lot of games are limited in what they can do. Spider-Man 2, for example, it's going to be limited to just New York. Should I be mad that I can't go to Los Angeles as Spider-Man? Should I be upset that I can't, you know, play The Last of Us Part 2 and go all the way to Oregon and fucking meet Deacon St. John from freaking Days Gone? No, and here's why. Because games have to have limitations. You can't just, you know, expect a game to have absolute no limits. Because guess what? It's not how it works. You can't just make a copy of a game on a disc and expect it just to be endless content. Starfield, at some point, it's going to have its end. And I get where he's coming from, and I actually agree to a certain extent, but again, I don't think this just spills doom and gloom. And that's why I hate about these kind of channels. They're always trying to make everything doom and gloom. Doom and gloom. Doom and gloom. Because it's just, they live in that echo chamber that everything has to, you know, be a freaking cause for concern or as immediately makes the game bad.
They're even limiting that. So immediately, I'm not even done with the fucking video. There are red flags here everywhere. Now listen, this combat, it's actually embarrassing how they released this to the public. Now I'm picky, alright? I'm not gonna lie, I'm picky. You look at my channel for 5 seconds, alright? I'm fucking picky, alright? But I've been around for some time now. In this combat that they're showing me, it looks like a fucking Roblox summer intern's first coding project. Who are they fooling here? The guns have no recoil, barely any sway.
The game looks fine to me. Yeah, is it combat that's gonna light the world on fire? No, but at the same time, it's like, neither was Skyrim's. And how many people keep playing Skyrim?
Thing has barely any impact on the target. It looks generic as hell. Who
Says there's no impact on a target, and then you see the freaking NPC go fly, jump up. Watch.
Any sway. The shooting has
Watch, this guy's about to die right here, right? This guy?
barely any impact on the target. It looks generic.
Went flying. No impact though, huh? A planet with gravity, because clearly if there's gravity, if he could jump and he's not just flying off into space, how's there no impact if that character was, jumped essentially? Just
Generic as hell. Who are they fooling?
There's a jetpack right there, so they confirm there's a jetpack. So that makes traveling much easier to do.
It looks so bad, man. And I'm looking at people in these YouTube comments of these trailers, hyping the game up, calling it, next game of the year, the next big Elder Scrolls type game. Ooh, what the fuck are you guys looking at? Don't get me wrong. I love when people find games that they think look cool and they can put tons of hours into. But how are you with a straight face gonna drop $70 on this?
You don't have to. Game Pass. Right there. Just buy it on, just get Game Pass. There you go. You got a computer? Your computer connect to the internet? You could cloud stream the game. There you go. Oh, wait, your computer could run it? Better. Play it on the computer. You got an Xbox? Play it on the Xbox. You got a phone? Play it on your phone. You don't have to pay $70 for this game. You only have to pay $15.
Look at this, bro. I don't even need to do any more explaining. We're moving on from the combat because it just makes me want to end the fucking video here. I'm 200% sure the game is going to be unoptimized. They confirmed as early as last week that the Xbox Series X is going...
Okay, but I know he's bringing up the 30 FPS here, but that's actually so that the game would be optimized. Ironically enough. They actually said the reason why it's not 60 FPS because other parts of the game would have to take a hit. So they decided to lock it down to 30 on consoles. And while, yes, that's not obviously the most desirable frame rate, it's also a frame rate that's at least stable. It's better than having a situation like with, Plague's Tale, Requiem, or a game like Jedi Survivor where the frame rate's fluctuating all the damn time. It's better to have it locked at a certain frame rate, or at least targeted a certain frame rate, and then it just kind of keeps that stability. Granted, some games out there that say they target 60 don't always hit 60 because sometimes there's just situations where frame rate takes a dip. Spider-Man 2 is going to be a good example of that. A lot of things going on in that game. And if it has a 60 FPS mode, I can guarantee there's going to be at least one circumstance where that 60 FPS is going to dip a little. But it's also optimized for the console. This, while, again, not the most desirable frame rate, is at least 60 FPS locked. Not 60, 30 FPS locked. Sorry. Again, not desirable, but at the same time, not exactly a deal breaker if it's locked. If it was 30 FPS and dipping below that, then I'd be pissed off.
Going to be capped to 30 frames per second. Your next gen console that you paid $650 for can't run it, and we should all be worried about that.
But it can. That's the thing. If it couldn't run Starfield wouldn't be coming to it. Duh. Yes, again, I keep saying this. 30 FPS, not desirable in any sense, especially in the year of our Lord here, 2023, but at the same time, locked is better than targeting. And if the game couldn't run on the damn console, it wouldn't be coming to the damn console. It's your fault you bought a fucking $500 console and Microsoft just not delivering. It's your fault. You bought the console, damn it. You should have just bought a PC. At least you could play some fucking PlayStation games then.
Because you know if it's locked to 30 on Xbox. I hope you guys bought a 4090 recently because there's no fucking way you're playing this game without it. Now let me just...
Doesn't require 4090 from what I know. I know it's not like the most demanding game ever, but I think it's... I don't know. Actually, I haven't looked into the specs for Starfield, funny enough.
Just not be a complete degenerate, okay? Starfield has some quality features. At least that's what we think.
I love how you were talking about quality and your microphone there just went to shit. Like, let's hear that one more time.
Let's not be a complete degenerate, okay? Starfield has some quality.
What the fuck is happening here? I know what's happening. It's spiking. You're talking about quality and that shit happens. This shit had to be intentional. And by the way, I just don't like these. I'm going to say this too. I don't like these format videos where you're seeing them and they got like a microphone in their hands and maybe they like got like a bunch of blue screen stuff. It's like, I don't know. That stuff, I've always found that kind of video format, unless you have a really good personality, which he doesn't, it's extra hard for me to, listen to the video or watch the video because it's distracted. You gotta worry about how you look too. Why do you think I stopped showing my damn face?
Quality features. At least that's what we think right now. Graphics are decent, and there seems to be a decent amount of story and side quest content. Also, it's a Bethesda game, so you can probably pick up and interact with everything in the world. And I'm sure that there's tons of secrets hidden in the game for people to discover. But let me ask you something. What is this game offering that No Man's Sky isn't? Because before this video...
compelling story with compelling narrative and characters. And also more stuff to actually do instead of just mindlessly going around collecting resources to upgrade your equipment. Like that's kind of No Man's Sky's entire thing right there. It's just exploring and upgrading equipment. Starfield's actually going to have a story. It's actually going to have, characters you interact with. Yeah, again, I haven't played No Man's Sky in a long time, but I don't think you interact with anyone for story. And if you do, you still have to translate the whole damn language. So, thank you, Clark. I know what you're saying now. Oh, this isn't a side quest? You're just telling me about your entire family getting killed? I mean, sad, but why did I spend 20 hours trying to translate all this? Listen here, folks. Christ almighty.
Video, I actually tried to sit down and figure it out. I mean, when you put them next to each other, you actually realize No Man's Sky has way more to offer than Starfield. I mean, they recently revealed this outpost system, which is apparently a pretty big part of the late game, but it also looks like a straight copy and paste of Fallout 4's outpost.
Except better.
System, which for me didn't hit the spot, and I barely used it due to the generic nature of how the NPCs acted and its lack of utility in the game. It doesn't look like this has too many extra additions to the system besides being able to mine resources passively. When I see Starfield, when I look at it, I'm not seeing Bethesda pushing the limits in any way. This game looks like a clash of No Man's Sky and Star Citizen, which could be a good thing, but the difference is those games are both multiplayer, so it doesn't have anything that stands out that differently from those games. So when I'm seeing gameplay, I'm just like, meh. I'd rather be Dragonborn fighting mythical creatures and shit than shooting robots in space with a laser rifle. The exploration is clearly mindless and limited, and the combat has absolutely no charm for anyone. What is this game offering that is
okay? Another thing I hate a lot of people do is that they assume what their taste is everyone else's taste. I'm looking at this gameplay, I'm thinking, this actually looks pretty damn cool. This actually kind of looks fun. Yeah, it looks mindless. It looks like there's a lot of, probably, fetch quests and shit. But at the same time, it's like, I almost feel like this is kind of like going to replace Skyrim. If this was coming to PS5, you know what? I'm going to be honest here. I'd be buying this game. I'd be buying it because it looks fun. It looks like it's a casual, safe game. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun time to be played by yourself. And no, it doesn't require your penis.
Different or new. Game comes out in 3 months and I can't answer that question. And guess what? Neither can you. I don't mean to hate, but this is going to be a flop of a game, okay?
Okay, right there. A flop? I don't mean to hate this game. But it's going to flop. What the... You say one thing, and then you say another, and they both contradict each other. perfect example of a YouTube channel I don't respect. Just a perfect example of someone who doesn't think their shit through. They're thinking with their emotions, and they're thinking off just the first impressions they've seen through trailers. How about you wait for the game to come out before you make a judgment? Before you say the game is doomed. Oh, that's right, because you know exactly what's going to happen. You know, people like me and other people out there are going to make fun of your video, say your video's dog shit, but it doesn't matter because you still got the interaction. You still got that clout, didn't you? You're basically no different from Hunter Smith, but you know how to edit.
As always, only time can tell. Guys, I hope you did enjoy this video about Starfield. If you did, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below.
Oh god, your microphone kills me, dude. But yeah, that's this whole stupid video. Sorry about it. You heard the cell phone in the background. Someone was trying to call me. Had to send them off into the shadow realm until next time. So until next time, guys, this is the PlayStation Gamer. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube algorithm BS. Peace out and have a good day.